Hold on, guys. We gotta look like we love each other. Just kidding. We do. All right. This is officially our trial. Ow, my hair. Our trial run.
No, there's no
in our new house.
It's not a trial.
Well, it is because we still have our house.
Well, you can't return this.
That's true.
No trial there.
We're supposed to get a lot of storms this weekend, so we'll figure out if it leaks. Hopefully not. Hopefully the dealer was somewhat honest. Dealers are ridiculous. We'll talk about them in another video. About things to look out for when you're dealing with dealers. Because we've had our first 2 experiences and we've learned a lot.
We've gotten taken to the cleaners. Alright, not that
But
bad.
we kind of knew it was happening and we were kind of okay with it. Because we still felt like we were getting a good deal. Kind of. Do you agree?
Yeah.
I mean,
still felt like the dealer won and we lost instead of both parties feeling like they lost. Or instead of having both parties not being happy.
Sort of.
The problem though...
I still think what we got for our price was good.
Yeah.
Compared to, like, what else we looked at.
The problem right now is dealers are selling campers like crazy. So they're not really...
They're not...
worried about making you a deal. Like, you take it or leave it, someone else is going to buy it.
Yep. Especially bunkhouses. Especially quad bunkhouses. Especially quad bunkhouses under $10,000.
True.
So, did we say anything about our camper finding adventure?
I don't think
yesterday?
we did. Unless you did it,
I don't think so. I think I just said that we got one. Okay, yesterday we left at 7 in the morning.
Something like that. 7 or 8. Yep.
And drove about an hour away to a little town, to a little dealer, to check out a camper that we found on Craigslist. It was a bunkhouse, single over double, but it was kind of cool because like the bunks were like back and around the corner, so they were kind of like their own room, which we liked rather than just having them kind of like out in the open living space like other setups. And it was just a different setup, which I liked because I didn't want like, obviously campers are made like all to look the same, because that's what they do. It makes sense. So I just wanted something a little different. This was a little different. On the phone, she had told me that there was a stain on the carpet. She had tried to clean it out, couldn't figure it out, but no big deal. Other than that, the camper was solid, nothing wrong with it, no leaks, no blah, 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 blah.
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 Come to find out, we get there, and there's, from the inside, we could feel probably at least like 1 foot.
If not 2 foot.
1 foot to 2 foot circle soft spot. If you have any experience with water damage, you know then, if you go underneath, typically it's a lot bigger. So it's probably a good like 2 foot by almost 4 foot.
Mm-hmm.
Just damaged underneath. And we kind of pointed out to her and she could care less. So we knew, one, we weren't going to deal with that. We weren't going to buy something that's going to be our house, we're going to live in, that has water damage. But it was just, she was asking way too much to begin with without the water damage, and so she wasn't budging, I'm sure. But
well, if you hear a dealer brag that the reason why they got into the camper industry is because it's very lucrative,
yeah,
that means
you can make a lot of money.
I don't care what this camper's like, just hurry up and buy it so I can have your money.
That's all they wanted. You could
run.
I mean, I guess most dealers want to make money. I get that. It's
Everyone
their job.
wants to make money. It's their job.
Makes sense. This was just a little bit too ridiculous and too shady. And anyway, so we moved on pretty quickly from that one. And then went to another place. We had the night before seen that they had a quad bunkhouse. It was like a Keystone, I think, but it was cool. So it had like the triangle front. Mm-hmm. And then up in the point was where the quad bunks were. So it was pretty cool setup. And then there was like a nice wardrobe in the middle and whatnot. And it was cool. And it was different. And it was all white inside. Like,
it was all redone.
No. I think it was originally that color. Because it was all like, you could tell under the trim, everything was that color.
Oh, yeah.
So, so it's just kind of like this whitewashed, it looks really cool inside. But then we walk in and like, they had just gotten it on their lot, so it was dirty. Like, the whiteness had like brown speckles everywhere of just grime. It was really gross. And then one cupboard still had stuff in it, right?
Yeah, Yahtzee game.
It had like, it was full of stuff still. And that one had like 3 spots of water damage.
Wait. Forgot before you pulled up.
Oh.
As we pulled up.
Right when we pulled up, you could see the bubbling on the outside of the fiberglass. I think that's what it's called. The what's that? Delamination. Anyway, so I pointed out to the guy, and he's like, yep, that just means there was water damage at some point. Okay, so why are you selling this thing for like $10,000 still? Like, there's water damage. And so then we go inside, and sure enough, like, you could tell along the wall and the floor, right where that we saw that there was water damage. And then I went in the back bedroom, and there was another huge spot underneath the window, in the, like, where the queen bedroom was. And so we just went right out, and I said it so the guy heard it, because I was annoyed that we drove there for a piece of junk. But anyway, I was like, nope, Stefan, we can move on. There's another huge soft spot from water damage back here. And then we left. No. And then he took us to see a almost $20,000 camper, which of course was
twice the cost.
Pristine. But I'm not about ready to spend $19,000.
Hey, then it gets better. So now they take you to see a $19,000 one. They said, well, I have one more. It's just $1,000 more. That's brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you come look at it? Hey, that is a great salesman technique. But I told
Not
you.
For us.
I started by looking at a $10,000 camper. I probably don't have a $21,000 budget.
Nor do we want to finance that much money. So, from there, we then drove an hour and a half northwest to another dealer. In this dealer we had previously gone to months ago. And it was an okay situation a couple months ago. There were a couple things that we were unsure about, but we had seen on Craigslist about a month ago, they had posted a quad bunk for less than $10,000, and it looked decent. So I called him on it, and he said there was no water damage, no water leaks. It's a solid camper. He explained kind of the issues with it, and so we said, we're coming like an hour and a half. Like, I sure hope you're serious. I don't want to drive that far. Because that's what the last person said. Anyway, so we got there. Kids did awesome. They did really well. We got there. We looked through it, and it was really nice. Not perfect. I mean, it's used. It's used. Perfect. It's 14 years old, right? It's a 2004. So it is. But there's no water. We stepped in every single corner. Felt underneath. Looks like one spot there was maybe some leaking around the vent, but they must have caught it soon enough, and actually did something about it before it would cause damage. The slide has a questionable corner, would you say? Had no water damage, but maybe it leaked at one time, but they resealed it on the outside, which I get. Like, we would have done the same thing if it started leaking.
Yeah, they definitely caught it and fixed it because there was that really nice tape on top.
Yeah.
But we'll find out next time it rains.
This weekend. So.
Well, we think it had rained that morning in Columbus.
Mm-hmm. Because there was, like, water on stuff.
Yeah, there was water on top of a lot of the campers, which was funny because where we were, it didn't rain. So as we drove there, we got there, we were like, all these campers are wet on top. And they leave all of their slides out on all their campers when they're on the lot. Mm-hmm. So.
Which is another good thing, like, this one was only there for, like, a month. So it hadn't been just sitting out in the sun baking.
For months.
For all summer. But now it will, because we're going to have it all summer out, because we live in it. Anyway, so this is it. We have our camper. La 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 la. You can't see it because it's dark and our children are asleep. But,
finally,
really, we just wanted to talk about our first night in the camper to document it. I'm going to give it a 72%.
I'm going to give it a 61%.
No! You have to. We're on a curve here, though. You have to take into. No. You have to take into consideration that this is so exciting for our little kids.
Okay, on that point, it's like an 81.
Oh, outdid me.
Of course.
I'll give them an 82.
Curve.
Okay, so they were a bit excited.
It's alright. Our youngest one, I don't know what his deal is.
Judah did terrible.
And he's not even old enough to really even understand.
Why aren't we drinking our coffee right now? Can you go get us our coffee?
I think our curve just went down.
So Judah is usually like the easiest to get to bed.
True that.
And usually he took a late nap at like 5:30, but he didn't go to bed till like 9:15. Annika kept having to go to the bathroom, and we don't have our sewer hose yet, and so we kept having to like walk her across the parking lot to the bathhouse. And so
walking to the bathhouse.
I think, yeah, exactly. So that's the fun thing to do right now. Oh, that's dark. Will you add some more water from the kettle? Anyone want to grow some chest hairs? My dad always used to say that. Grow you some chest hairs.
I'll get the rest of the coffee for tomorrow morning.
Perfect. Much better. Okay. So, anyway, this is our first night in the camper. The kids so we have a quad bunk. I think I said that. In the back. And the kids, for now, just a second, are, sleeping on the bottom two bunks. Eventually they want to move to the top because the top is cool, and I totally get that. But we don't have railings up there, and it's just kind of open, and so we'll move them up there once we get the railings put up. But just because of the excitement of being in their own little room and area, it took a little while to fall asleep. Our oldest did pretty well, actually. I would say she did good. It's nice there's like a wardrobe between them, so we just make them keep their heads above that so they're not like making faces at each other. Okay, we encourage them to keep their heads. We tell them they need to, but they don't necessarily listen. See if I can not spill coffee all over. My nose keeps itching. Sorry, guys. Whoa, they changed that one to an LED light. It's not like these yellow lights, huh? Yeah, they had to change it, I'm sure. And then Annika, I went back and forth 3 times, right? 3 times. Well, I guess once we all went again. And they both went that time, so that was good. And then she went 2 more times after that. Which is kind of a bummer, because I was kind of looking forward to sitting outside before it got dark out.
Yeah.
But why is my nose so itchy right now? But that didn't happen. So, I would give it like a, the excitement of it. First night, not too bad. Actually, it wasn't much worse than at home.
That's true. All right.
Maybe even better than at home.
So we'll give it a 96.
Because at home, they're usually jumping on their bed and running around their room.
Yes, they usually get out of bed and go do something to each other and hop back in bed. Well, actually, the oldest one says something to the younger one.
To get her to get out.
The middle one
Stinker.
Is more action related, not word related, so she will get out of bed and do something about what the oldest one just told her.
Mm-hmm. Like, she'll plant ideas in her head, and then she knows she'll get out of bed and do them.
She's like, I have your blanket over here.
So then what's Annie gonna do? Go get the blanket.
She's gonna get out of bed and go get the blanket.
Ridiculous children. Anyway, so we had a good first night. We are enjoying some coffee. It is not decaf. I forgot the decaf, so I might regret this in about an hour or 2 or 5. And I'm still awake.
It circulates through to Julia?
No, because you'll be awake with it. No, when I'm still awake.
When I fall asleep, I'm out.
Mm-hmm. So we're just hanging out. First night in the camper. We're only here so this is a little free campground. It's actually like a gorgeous campground. We came here last fall, and it's like just 15 minutes away from our house. And so we just came out here to kind of do a trial run with everything and just trying to get used to the camper and setting up and taking down. Bought it, might as well use it. Although we're still paying for our house, so why aren't we using that then? Just kidding. And obviously, we have to pack it still and stuff. The kids just packed a little suitcase. That's all we need. Suitcase for everyone. Yeah. But we're leaving tomorrow morning. Stefan's gone for a couple days. Not really. It's fine. He's not gone that long. And then we'll probably maybe come back again. Because it's a gorgeous, so this park has like 1, 2, 3, like 6 playgrounds around it.
Yeah.
There's like 6 playgrounds. And when you have kids, that's like amazing. And it just has tons of acres of wooded area and a creek. And in the summertime, there's a pool. And it's pretty cool. And it's free, so we'll probably come back out here. And if you can hear that, it's loud. We'll have to shut our windows.
That's the only downside to this park.
It's right by like a county highway, so it gets kind of loud.
Where trucks have to slow down for the railroad tracks.
Though when we stayed last year, we were in a tent, and that was awful. Like, the kids actually slept pretty well. Maybe because it was white noise. I don't know. But that's why we need to get a white noise machine. Everyone said to get a white noise machine for your kids. You should do that right now. I'm just kidding.
Well, might be able to play white noise because we have a sound system in there. Who knows? We'll see.
We'll figure it out. I don't know. So, we're going to enjoy our camper. Enjoy our new house. And, yeah. We'll take some video of probably playing at the park tomorrow. So we're going to do all day tomorrow. And hopefully this weekend when it rains, it doesn't leak. Fingers crossed. Alright, bye guys. Sorry for the funky lights.
See ya.